Welcome to Research Perch from the Massage Therapy Foundation. Short, practical insights into massage therapy research and how it can benefit your practice.
Hello, everyone. This is Doug Nelson, the president of the Massage Therapy Foundation. And on this episode of Research Perch, we will again be looking at the eBook that was created by our education committee and applications therein. So I would also like to introduce Brent Jackson, who is on the video conference with me. Brent, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me, Doug. I'm Brent Jackson, Vice President for the Massage Therapy Foundation and Chair of the Education Committee. And I appreciate Bev and Doug both being here to discuss this today.
Thank you so much. And Bev Giroux is from the Costa Rica School of Massage Therapy in, yes, Costa Rica. So Bev, welcome. You want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Beverly Giroux. And as Doug said, I'm Director of Education at the Massage Therapy School that's located in Costa Rica. However, I'm talking to you from Tucson, Arizona right now. I've been a massage therapist in Arizona for about 21 years and a teacher for almost 18. So serving as a CompTIA commissioner, as well as spent some time on the exam development committee for NCB.
Wow. Thank you so much. And thank you for your service to the profession, Bev. Thank you
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So Brent, let's talk a little bit, just a little history about the ebook and the purposes behind it.
When we first addressed educators about what they wanted to see from the foundation, they wanted a resource in which aided them in finding resources, putting in current information, and what to do with that information when it came to research. So we answered their call, so to speak, and birthed the ebook for the instructor's guide. And in our previous video, we were discussing the ebook and with an instructor who wasn't quite sure where to start. And in this video, we would like to discuss the ebook with a school that already has a very strong foundation in research and that they've used the ebook to strengthen their curriculum. And so Bev, I'd like to hand it over to you because I'm interested to see what you've done with your curriculum.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Brent. And, you know, somebody put out the call. It wasn't me, but I'm so glad that you responded to something because it came to me at the perfect time. I've had curriculum in place for 5 years or so. And as with all of my curriculum, I try to keep it current, new, fresh. And I felt like this was getting a little stale, but really didn't have a clue where I should go to update, expand, clarify, validate, do all those things for my curriculum. And along came the guide. And I sat down with my instructor who does teach the course. And we read through the guide and came up with a plan to basically create a little bit more background information, more clear information that I was now much more confident in. And it really let me do it in an easy way where I didn't have to go do all the research and finding myself. So it was a great resource to just expand and update what I had.
Was there a particular part, Bev, that you started with that you thought, boy, this is going to be helpful?
Yeah, I think first of all, I just worked on expanding what I already had and making sure I had it up to date and correct. And so I have research terms and definitions that I took out of, I think it's section 1 of the guide. And then I also went into expanding a little bit more about types of research. Again, I think that was section 2. And a hierarchy of that, I included that pyramid that you guys put, the research pyramid. That was incredibly helpful. I also used some more visuals, examples of like the Likert scale and the visual analog scale, which we hadn't had in our curriculum to just demonstrate, hey, this is what we're talking about. So my definition list got bigger and more clear. And again, I was much more confident in what I was presenting. And as well as I added a couple of different levels of study from the research hierarchy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's kind of how the bulk of what I used.
Yeah.
Sure.
Have you had a chance to present this yet to students?
Yeah, we just did last week.
Oh, really? Yeah. How'd it go?
Yeah,
How'd it go?
It went great. It went great. We have all this information written and printed out for the students. So a lot of it, I like to have students have maybe more than what we actually present in the classroom as a resource for their career, for when they're a professional, they can have at their fingertips something. I also gave credit to the Massage Therapy Foundation, so the students are familiar with the foundation, they're familiar with where they could go to find out more and have that resource. But it went really well. We do it quickly, briefly, but the students have it on day one, really, so that we can start talking about what do we know about massage, what can we say about massage, and to try to get them speaking really intelligently and accurately about what massage does.
Great. So, to both of you, since you're both instructors, how do you find students responding to the idea of, incorporating research in the field? Are there challenges? Are there, what is their response, if you could generalize?
Well, I think the response is good. I think a lot of them don't really know about it. We do have some students that come from backgrounds in other careers where they are aware of research and how important it is. But I think it's a real eye-opener, and it's good to have it on day one, for me, at least from my perspective. Yeah. And we get them to go to the NIH website, and they each get assigned a study, and they have to come back and report things about the study using some of the new definitions and things. What kind of study was it? How strong is the evidence? What can you say based on that? And I think it really does open their eyes and get them started on a really nice, in a really nice state of mind about what they're about to learn how to do.
Very cool.
I agree with Bev. Starting off on that day one and really teaching them to find that research helps not only the student with understanding what they're doing, but also helps them to have a resource to validate what they're doing when they're explaining to friends and family or other students, or even other healthcare professionals. We have these studies that support what we're doing, and this is why we do it. So I agree with Bev. It's so important to start on day one when we're talking about massage effects, to really look in and say, what is it that we truly know about massage therapy, and where is the support for this? So
yeah, it's kind of like, what do we know and how do we know it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's kind of how I started off about 5 or 6 years ago. Was I attended a conference and somebody presented about what do we know about massage, and then lots of things came up that weren't actually found to be true. And that's kind of how I start, the whole conversation. But there was one more thing that I just remembered we got from this research guide, was all of those resources. I had a list, but not as expansive as the one that's in the guide. So I was able to give the students a lot more places to go to look and see.
Excellent.
So,
I think and the more we kind of self-introspect as a profession, that we question ourselves, when someone on the outside questions us, right? It's like, well, we've already asked that question, right? This isn't coming from someplace that we haven't thought of. I remember I presented once at a medical conference, and I presented some of the evidence, but before they could actually question it, I questioned it first, So it's like, well, let me point some holes in this. And they were like, well, it's hard to shoot it down because he already did that, And actually, I think when you question yourself, it's a good thing. And so I think it's a good place to come from. So,
agreed.
Yeah. So thank you so much for what you're doing. Is there anything that you would see, with this document or with the foundation, resources that you think you'd love to see forthcoming?
Oh boy.
I know.
I didn't know you were going to ask me that.
Yeah, I know. I thought I'd throw one in.
Well, I am going to say that I think I barely tapped into this resource with basics, because that's all the time I have to teach it. I think, I don't know, because I'm not, again, this opened my eyes to more than I actually had and knew. And so I'd have to think about that. But I also think that it was whatever you do and whatever you put out helps me to either expand and strengthen or really validate. I mean, some of the exercises and suggestions for projects or discussions in the classroom, I've been doing. And so it was really cool to go, oh, I had a good idea.
Yes, that's right.
And it helped. So I would just say, the concepts of clarifying, updating, keeping things up to date, and what's the latest, and help every instructor, every person who develops curriculum to confidently put something together without having to do so much legwork and not really knowing when I did my legwork, did I really do it well?
Perfect. Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
So we're excited. I'm excited about it. And I really was thankful to be able to get to update my curriculum in such an easy way.
Yeah. It's a cool thing for us, because in one way, part of the message, that I hear from you about it, it's not about putting out more stuff, it's like writing a great story or something. More words won't help. Right? So it's just about doing the right things and being clear and concise. And you're right, there's a ton of stuff that Brent and his committee have put in that document. Fully utilizing that will take a while, just to do that. So, yeah. So.
Yeah, actually, you're giving me an idea. If I were to assign someone some additional work for whatever reason, maybe it's a makeup assignment or extra credit or something, I could tap into this and have them go a step further than we have in the classroom as a project.
Awesome.
Bev, I'm taking that idea for my own class.
Yeah. You can have it.
Well, thank you to both of you. Brent, again, thank you to yourself and the whole committee for putting this together. Bev, it's just really cool to see a school that is already doing this, but the idea of strengthening and updating and refreshing that curriculum.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Feels really good.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, both of you, for service to the profession and all the work that you've done.
Well, thanks to the Massage Therapy Research Foundation for getting me aware and up to date and helping me.
It's our pleasure. It's our honor. So thank you much to both of you. Thanks to everyone for watching today. We hope you found this edition of Research Perch really valuable. Thank you again.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please consider donating to the Massage Therapy Foundation so that we can continue to bring you this and many other resources to increase your knowledge and improve your practice. Thank you.